Hey, what's up, guys? Think Blue 45 here, and I just wanted to get on here and kind of share my thoughts and my excitement and my joy about the Wicked movie coming out. Wicked is my favorite musical. I have never read the book, but it is my favorite musical. I love the entire soundtrack. I mean, I love the story it is. It's so moving. I mean, it brings me to tears every time. I am not like I can't name thousands of musicals and know their soundtracks and stuff, like people who have been in theater and do theater for a living and stuff, but I love theater. It's one of my loves is theater. So Wicked's my favorite and I'm very excited. I've seen all of this content that we're about to watch now, but I have the first trailer, the second trailer, The Wizard and I, Popular, and the musical event because that gives us some dancing through life. And I think maybe some other songs, but I am floored because those of you out there know this freaking movie has been teased since what? It feels like early 2000s, not that early, probably more like 2016, 2015, maybe even earlier, but it feels like this movie has been teased and saying it's gonna come out for years and years and years. And when it finally was like confirmed, I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's happening." And seeing it, man, when I saw that first trailer, that first little snippet during the Super Bowl, I almost died. I did not expect that. I don't think anyone really expected that, but I did not expect that. I was like, I got my I like couldn't breathe. I was like, that was wicked, and then I immediately went on my phone and watched it like a thousand more times. But this is like such a monumentous occasion. I'm not like Wicked is one of the greatest musicals on Broadway. And it's a very famous book. It's so big. And this movie is so big, and so much of it they tried to not make CGI. There's live singing. I mean, this movie, the popularity Wicked already had was huge. The fact that they made a Wicked movie and are spreading it even farther and bringing it to even more people, it's just the best thing ever. I mean, I am in love with everything Wicked and what's going on here. And let's get into the content. Let's watch, and I'll kind of talk about my thoughts.
Are people born wicked? Or do they have wickedness thrust upon them? You're green.
I am.
So that right there, say this really quick, but I've seen some people that little part is actually acted differently in the second trailer, and I've seen some people say that they liked this version better. I will explain my thoughts after we watch the second trailer, but that's something that has had some critiques that I saw.
Welcome, new students, to Shiz University. Miss
Elphaba.
You can room with Miss Galinda.
Popular. I know about popular. Oh, I saved you some space, by the way.
Do you really think this is fair?
I do not. I was promised a private suite. But thanks for asking.
I really like the casting, personally.
Please, everyone take your
I mean, Cynthia Erivo,
Today's ours, a
come
real
on.
sorcerer who possesses
And Ariana Grande.
has become
Those of us knew she had a background in Broadway, and we're not really all that fearful.
That was you who made all that
That was
happen.
me personally.
How did you do it?
I don't know. I've never known.
You! Come with me.
Of course.
Not you. You. You're the one the wizard has been waiting for.
Galinda?
Ew.
I know.
Huge
It's
moment.
my granny's. I'd give it away, but I don't hate anyone that much.
Hey.
You should join us tonight. And don't tell me you have nothing to wear. Because you could wear this.
Oh, I can't wait for that little part.
Something has changed within me.
This is a huge moment in the musical.
She doesn't give a twink when
Huge, like, transition moment.
Not the same. Of course she does. She just pretends not to.
I'm so excited.
Wizard of Oz.
Am I the only one who wishes the Dancing Through Life in the album included that music during that moment that it has in the musical? It doesn't have it on the soundtrack. It's like dun 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 dun, and then they do this, and then this. Dun, 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 dun. You guys know what I mean. You guys know exactly what I mean. That part when, you know, Glinda goes out to Elphaba in that moment. I really wish that was on the soundtrack. It's so beautiful.
To the Emerald City. Come with me.
What?
To meet the wizard.
I couldn't possibly. This is your moment. I'm coming.
The great and terrible.
Sounds great.
Something bad is happening in Oz.
The best way to bring folks together is to give them a real good enemy.
This is cool.
You have no real power.
That's why I need you.
Don't let her get away! This wicked witch.
That's
Don't be afraid.
I'm so excited to see her as a kid because you don't get to see that in the musical. So I'm so excited for the additions to
I'm not
this.
afraid.
And I don't
It's the wizard who should be afraid of me.
Good girl. I just saw my cats. Okay, so let's see. Anything that I want to mention? I love the singing. I'm really excited for like the politics that are coming into it. Like that stuff isn't in the musical. Seeing her as like a kid isn't in the musical. I, for one, was going to read the book because I love the musical so much, but realized I heard the book is like very different and not, you know, it like really the musical. I don't know if that's the best way you would describe it, but I'm really excited about this because it's very heavily musical based, but it's also going to bring in those really important, like probably character development stuff from the book in here too, and probably thoughts that they've had on their own added in. And you know, ultimately we'll get to see how it all meshes together soon. I know a bunch of people have already, which, hey, if anyone would like to send me out to a premiere and or give me a early screening, let me know. I'm here and I'm free.
Fellow Ozians, the Wicked Witch of the West is dead.
I like that, like, in the trailer, like, duh, duh, duh. I'm so excited for all the little, like, alludes to different things.
Let me tell you the whole story.
I love that green and pink, by the way. I didn't mention that before, but
Our paths
that's
did cross
beautiful.
at school.
Beautiful. Here it is.
Oh, you're green.
I am.
So personally, I really like the change. At first I was like, oh no, I didn't like the change. Why did they do that? But I sat with it for a while. I mean, I kept watching Wicked stuff, and then hadn't watched it for a while, and then I watched it again, and I'm like, wow, that's such a better choice, because in the other trailer, as you can see, it sounds more like she's being like, you're green, almost in a way of like, oh, how interesting, how cool. And she's like, oh, I am. Like, it's just not what the scene is going for, and that's not how Glinda responds to Elphaba, as far as, oh, you're, like, interesting, oh, like, kind of, it almost sounds like, oh, like, cool. Like, if you hear it again.
To Shiz University, Miss.
In trailer 1.
You can room with Miss Galinda.
Popular. I know about popular. Oh, I saved you some space, by the way.
Do you really think that?
Here we go. I missed it by a lot.
You're green.
It's like, it could be very much interpreted as, you're green. Like, huh. Interesting.
I am.
And then it's kind of, then she's like, feels confident about it. And she's like, you're right, I am green. That's not how it is. That is not Glinda, nor is that Elphaba. Elphaba literally, I mean, I'm going to have to maybe put, I don't know, this is spoilers for the musical anyway, but, you know that literally in the song that comes later in The Wizard or Not, she's like, if I did green, if I, you, and, da, da, da. Like, the wizard, obviously. She is not, like, she is confident, right? And she's come into her own, but it's not something that she particularly fully loves about herself. Because, I mean, she gets picked on, ridiculed. All eyes are always looking at her. She's not that confident about being green, especially seeing her sister who's not and who is treated better. And that's not how Elphaba feels about being green. And that's not how Glinda feels about seeing Elphaba in that outfit and who's green. That is not at all what Glinda's like. She's like terrified, more like not like, oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh, you know? Anyway, so now we can watch this again. Knowing kind of that I said that.
Oh, you're green.
I am.
Together.
And so now it kind of feels like, now it's inquisitive instead. Which makes more sense because, like, I'm sure you've never seen someone green before, so it makes more sense for her to be like, you're green. And then her response is way better.
Oh, you're green.
It's like, huh, what?
I am.
And then Elphaba, knowing that Glinda's kind of, you know, Glinda, I don't know how to describe it, that could be judgmentally judgy and stuff like that. She's like, to somebody who's judgy, she's like, oh my god, you're right, I'm green. Come on, please, girl, we all know I'm green. That kind of thing. That's why she has that smirk at the end. It's so much better this way.
Oh, you're green.
I am.
Together we're
It's that subtle thing at the smirk at the end. And the
She had a
beautiful music.
Absolutely remarkable.
There is no fight we cannot win. Just you and I.
They sound so good together.
Why is it you're always causing some sort of commotion?
I don't cause commotions. I am one. Some of us are just different.
Listen to me. You can do anything.
I know.
I like having her voice behind in the trailer.
Just follow the road. It's gonna lead you right
To me.
I love how sorry to pause it. I'm gonna try and go really fast with this. But how she says, like, look to the western sky. And then in the background, it's like, you can hear it again. It's so haunting. This part of the trailer is so, like, haunting and, like, oh, like, not in, like, a really fully scary way, but in, like, a really intense, like, don't get her, like, you know what I mean? Those of you probably know what I mean, but this, you can kind of hear it's so haunting in the background.
Oh,
I love that.
The best way to bring folks together is to give them a real good
I think this is Ariana,
enemy.
and it's perfect.
This wicked witch.
That haunting.
don't be afraid.
It's the wizard who should be afraid of me.
The wizard that there is or was is ever gonna bring me
Oh man, so good, so good, so good, so good. They should have cast me in the Wicked movie. Why wasn't I invited? Come on, guys. Where was my invitation? Cynthia, Ari, come on. I thought we were closer than that. But also, can we just say, like, the cast? Oh, I already mentioned that. Like, those who knew Broadway, no, just Cynthia, beautiful, and Ariana. Again, if you know her background, it really wasn't that scary of her being cast as Glinda, and it dream role. It just. Now here's some of the music I wanted to kind of talk about.
when I meet the wizard. Once I prove my worth, and then I meet the wizard. What I've waited for since birth. He'll say to me, I see who you truly are, a girl on whom I can rely, and that's how we'll begin. The wizard.
She's such a good singer. She really knows how to place, like, how to do the breath control and where to, like, kind of place her notes.
Once
And
I'm with the wizard, my whole life will change. 'Cause once you're with the wizard, no one thinks you're strange.
you can feel that, like, whimsical, like,
Proud of you. No sister acts ashamed, and all of us has to love you. And by the wizard you're acclaimed.
that part. And by the wizard you're acclaimed. And, like, her vibrato at the end. My gosh. Oh my gosh. Little choices like that. Like, I pick up on stuff like that. And man, I've done some, like, when I was younger, but some, like, vocal training, because I do like to sing. I just don't have, the voice to pursue it or anything, but I actually really like singing and listening to people sing, especially on Broadway. So I like hearing her sing, like, really good singers. It's really cool to hear their vocal technique and how they're using their air and where they're placing their notes and stuff like that. You can hear it's so good. Just a side note. All right, Ari's turn.
Popular, you're gonna be popular. I'll teach you the proper voice when you talk to boys. The way to
Oh yeah,
flirt is
before we actually go into this, was it the first trailer?
Are people born wicked,
Yeah.
or do they have wickedness thrust upon them?
That sounds like Kristen Chenoweth, which is so cool that I know she wanted to, like, bring her own and bring Kristen too and stuff. So I don't even know if she specifically was like, let me say this like Kristen Chenoweth. I think that's just, she chose to play Glinda the way she chose to. And that's what we got. And that's awesome that that's what we got, Just a little, like, Kristen's like, oh, okay, I see you, Ari. I see you.
Popular, you're gonna be popular. I'll teach you the proper voice when you talk to boys. The ways to flirt.
I've seen that when she goes, people are saying, "Oh, Glinda's doing too much. Oh, Glinda's doing too much," because there's a clip now of her flirting with Fiyero, Glinda flirting with Fiyero, and she does that again. The hair, but again, if you see the musical at all, that's Glinda. She literally does that in the musical, and so it's just funny. Some of the comments and like the critiques, it's like it's not all of them. Maybe even not a majority, but there are some where I'm like, have you seen Wicked, the musical, at all? Have you seen clips of it? Have you heard the music? Do you know Cynthia? Do you know Ariana? Do you know even more of the cast? Like, have you ever even like breathed the source material? Like, question mark. You know what I mean? Again, not everyone, maybe not even majority, but some of the stuff I see, I'm just like, and also some people with like singing too. Again, might not even be majority, but with this much of vocal training or like what I've learned on how to sing from a vocal coach, have like seeing some of the critiques too, I'm just like,
I'll show you what shoes to wear, how to fix your hair, everything that really counts.
ooh, red slippers. There were also silver slippers in the beginning too.
To be popular, I'll help you be popular. You'll hang with the right cohorts, you'll be good at sports. Know the slang you've got to know. So let's start, cause you've got an awfully long way to go. Don't be offended by my frank analysis. Think of it as personality dialysis. Now that I've chosen to become a power sister and advisor, there's nobody wiser, not when it comes to popular. I know about popular. And
I love that.
Insist for me to be who you'll be instead of dreary who you were. Well, there's nothing that can stop you from becoming popular. Lar.
I really like it. Personally, like, she really did a good job with her voice singing as Glinda. Like, oh, and the other thing I do want to say is when I look at these characters, the wild thing is I see Elphaba. I don't see Cynthia Erivo at all. And then when I look at obviously Ariana Grande, you really don't. Like, you see, it's like, obviously you know it's Cynthia and Ariana, clearly, so you're not going to look at that and be like, oh, that's not those, but, like, they both really get into character. Like, when I see it, I see Glinda, you know? Like, I see a very ditzy Glinda, and then Cynthia really, like, was able to get into the character of Elphaba. It's so cool how well I've just noticed personally, at least how I feel, how much they've really immersed themselves into the characters, so that way you really feel like they are those characters, and you can really, like, attach to that. I personally really liked this clip of Popular. I saw a critique of it and said, this is awful. And then I saw them also say that they thought Cynthia was only going to be awful. And then I was just like, okay, moving on. But I also like that instead of jury, who you were. I forget what it is. This right here.
Coming popular. Just for me to be who you'll be instead of dreary who you were. Well,
I like that choice. There are a lot of times I don't like choices like that. Like, there are some choices, like saying The Little Mermaid. This is just random. The Little Mermaid movie that I just personally would have not wanted those changes, but I've noticed in this one there's only, like, there's some slight changes, or it really works with what they're doing. And if it works, that's all I care about, you know, like, truly. And if they keep the energy and it doesn't feel like, oh, you're just trying to do all these runs because you can and you're adding it in, I really like it. And I saw another critique of saying, you know, that Kristen's version is more like manic and more like, oh, like, which I see and is 100% valid and is a very funny way of doing it, and that's how Kristen chose to do it. But I've seen responses of being like, well, the way Kristen does it, she's very manic. I wish this had more of that. It's like, I understand it, but this is not the musical, and Kristen's not in it, and it's been years since Kristen and Adina have been in it, and there's been multiple Glindas on stage who have done different ways of doing the Glinda. I was going to say renditions. I think that's the right word, but it might not be. And literally Ariana's only another one. Same with Cynthia. She's literally only just, there are two other people who are taking on the role and making it their own while also staying authentic to the character. They think, I saw that comment saying they thought this was a little too like, oh, happy, which here, after reading that and hearing this, I actually really like this choice because it feels like Glinda's like, you know, really, there's like a really, we know she has a soft side, obviously, and then it comes out more with Elphaba, but there's some, I think it's their chemistry between the two of them, but there's just an extra, like, added, like, she really wants to help Elphaba out, it feels like. She's really like, wow, like, I want to be friends with this, like, it's like, you know, Happy, I really want to be friends with her and show her this stuff, and it just feels like connected more. Maybe that's not the right choice, because I know I see the connection in Popular on the stage. I don't know if you guys can kind of pick up on what I'm doing or saying, and maybe you won't, and that's okay, because I don't think I can fully articulate. The last thing I wanted to react to, there's so much, but the other thing was this trailer, or it was the Wicked musical event, and I wanted to listen to this because it has some dancing through life in it. And just, oh, we can also watch that. That's One Short Day that just came out, so let's do that too. But this is a musical event, and it has of dancing through life.
Everyone, I have an announcement. Popular, you're gonna be popular. I'll show you what shoes to wear, how to fix your hair, everything that really counts to be
Dancing through life. Mindless and careless.
He's so good.
Make sure you're with us when you're dancing.
He's so good. See, I like that choice a lot. It sounds phenomenal. That sounds phenomenal. And then I saw earlier today some clip of him like singing it for one of the premieres, and I only listened to this much because I don't want to be spoiled on everything. But he sounds so good in the beginning of it too, and I'm just like, oh. And you're dancing through life. Yeah, I love that. Transcendent, The Wizard and I. What is this one?
I got us tickets.
You coming?
Everyone will be there.
They sound really good together too.
Think of what we could do together.
Wicked, rated PG. If there are no further questions, I'm gonna go.
Only in theater.
It feels like she's also going to play a bit more of a ditzy Glinda, which honestly on stage, that's Glinda. She's very ditzy. So I don't know what the heck I'm talking about as if, but Ariana's the perfect person to play that character. All right.
This is the chaos. This is One Short
Look
Day.
at these sets,
So the
man.
First time I saw this set,
You
in person
really
was
are
this
immersed in
morning.
it.
We're changing everything. I'm calm-ish. This is movie making. This is what we do.
No. We're gonna have to get around you, so you might have to take a little bit of time.
They're stealing stuff on set, but they don't think I know.
Somebody take any postcards here? Ready? Oh, you got it. Oh. That felt very good. Everybody knows everything. Are we gonna do it? We're gonna pump it up more? We'll see. We have this fun Wicked song that we play usually that pumps everybody up. So we'll see. All the rehearsals, all the auditions, none of it counts. Just right now. Yeah. 2 takes. That's it. Let's go. Here we go.
I wanna be in this life alive. So I'll be back for good someday. Make my life and make my way before today will wonder and enjoy.
Same that one too. That choice too. It's, oh my gosh, every little choice like that I have heard, I have been so for, I have loved. Man, and also, this is just another like little thing about Wicked in general, and I guess Wicked the musical in general. But just ignore that. I don't know if you guys with the musical, but I've seen some incredible Elphabas. But I've always found it hard to find like a really, really solid Glinda. And I don't know if anyone else has felt that. But I have. And what's refreshing is I'm hearing this and I'm like, oh, Ariana sounds like she has the voice capacity to be able to handle these songs. Because like No One Mourns the Wicked is really hard for Glinda to sing. It's a really high song. And usually when I hear that in the beginning with Glinda and like and later on, thank goodness, it's just I haven't heard that like power that I've desired yet on stage. So I'm really excited about this version because it sounds like I'm really gonna like Ariana's version of Glinda. But yeah. That's it. This is going to be uncut because this is all raw. This is authentic. I'm going to probably walk into the theater, have it start, the lights go down. The first thing's going to come up on the screen, tears, boom, are going to start. I might not stop crying until the end of the movie. Like truly, even if it's just going to be happy tears. It's just going to be joy. I'm going to like be Cloud 9. Like seriously, this is a bonkers event that Wicked is getting a movie. I mean, that's why it's getting merchandise and all this stuff because it's like it's awesome. I mean, Wicked is so iconic, and to make it into a movie and to have a director that is super good and just to have created and brought together so many talented people that wanted to be authentic to the source materials they were using, that wanted to be authentic to it, that wanted to also add their aspects into it as well, and to wrap it up and make it into this beautiful art. And the fact that they're trying to use as little CGI as possible is huge. The fact they're singing live is huge. The fact that they're doing 2 parts, in my opinion, I like is huge because if you think about it, not only are they trying to do the musical and maybe even expanding and adding little flares from the musical, but there's also a whole book material that is only fair for that to be brought into because that's Wicked. So if you have both, then that's a long time to really flesh out characters' development and deepen things and immerse you into the world. I think that's something John Chu really has been saying, like immersing you into the world. And I think having 2 parts is awesome because you really get immersed into it and get really, I'm sure, just deeper into all these characters that they just couldn't have if they had 1 part. I understand. I would love it if it was 1 part because then I wouldn't have to wait a year and die before the 2nd part. But you know, it's all right. It's all right. Things happen the way they do. It came out at the perfect time. I'm in a better spot in my life before, so I'm able to feel the joy of Wicked coming out, and I know you guys, you know, if you know, you know, as far as feeling joy, not feeling joy, but I think with that, I'm gonna end it. But thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I am with you guys, fellow Wicked fans. I'm with you all the way. Let's freaking rock the theaters. Let's break records. Let's throw all our money at this. Like, let's enjoy this moment. Let's savor it. This moment, you know, moments only happen once. Let's fucking live up this moment, all right? Let's fucking do it. Have a wonderful rest of your day.